Hello everyone and welcome to the newest Steve's Reviews. Okay, this time we are going to be reviewing, as promised, the Shadow Alpha Fighter from Robotech Shadow Chronicles that I picked up from FanimeCon, okay? Now, I don't know exactly how much this thing is supposed to retail for, but you can take a look at the price tags yourself. It was 80 bucks originally. I got it for about 55. Alright, so the thing comes in this nice white outer case with just this thing here to tell you what it is. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Of course, we have all the standard packaging of these things. White outer case with the plastic bags and styrofoam on it. But then we have one of these books. Alright, we have one of the classic book cases. These are meant so that you can get the entire series and line them up on your shelf from start to finish. And obviously, if you did that, you would be using up a whole lot of shelf space. But, anyways, like I said, nice. You can just open it up and inside, bam, is your Alpha Fighter. Alright, so here's the Shadow Alpha. And here's all the technical specifications of it and everything. Then here's your certificate of authenticity. And as you can see, they're always numbered. And this one is number 1299 of 5,000. Alright. Anyways, it's nice that you have that there. But we are really interested in this. So why don't I go ahead and get that out and show you what's up with it. Alright, so here we have the slipcase out. And inside here, we've got our Alpha Fighter. And then we've got all these little extra bits. Looks like we've got a pilot. And we've got some kind of, I don't know. Might be one of those folded up motorcycle things. Some stuff. Looks like a big ass gun right here. And then of course we have our instructions. Alright. And looks like some decals too. So why don't we open this up and take a quick look through this thing, huh? Okay, here we've got our decal sheet, which is really a sticker sheet. If you're a builder of Gundam models and you're familiar with these kind of stickers. So, there's just all these little markings and stuff that you can put on your Alpha if you feel like it. Then here we've got, of course, our instruction manual, which has got background on the character, Mira Sterling, and of course the 3 modes of the Alpha Fighter, and then how to transform it. Bam, bam, bam. Then some pictures. Really awesome. More stuff. And then we have a preview of another guy's Alpha Fighter right here, and some of the other figures that they sell. Alright, cool. Okay, now we move on to the figure itself. So let's get this thing out and see what's up, huh? Okay, so here we have our Alpha Fighter fresh out of the bubble. And let's get down to business, alright? Now, first off, we have our little pilot figure here. Go ahead and get this out and try not to lose it. So here we go. Got an itty bitty tiny little pilot here, a little peg to sit on, and we'll just go ahead and open up the cockpit here. You can go ahead and stick the pilot inside, put that peg down in there, and then you can close it back up. Now you obviously have seen that this canopy comes in 2 separate parts, so just make sure that you don't lose those parts so you can get them back in there. Bam, there you go. Alright, anyways, here we have our gun pod. Alright, so what you do is you want to take this handle, move it like that so that there's this tab right here. and there is a panel with a slot right there. Now, I have tried for the life of me to get this thing in here, but it doesn't want to. This panel just keeps moving down lower and lower, and so I'm going to say, screw it. It's not going to be on there. Besides, who displays their Valkyries in freaking jet mode anyway when they can transform? Alright, so, now we have these little bitty tabs here. Let's go ahead and pull them up, and there goes your tail fins. So, pull those out. Come on, you little bastard. Okay, forget it. This thing comes out. This one obviously doesn't because I would have to break it to get it out. So, screw that crap. Alright. Then there's landing gear in here. I'm pretty sure that eventually I might be able to get it out, but you know what? I don't even know if I want to bother trying. Alright. Okay. Well, as you can see, I did manage to get the landing gear out, but that was a fiasco in and of itself, as you could most obviously see. So, here we go. Landing gear. The wheels do roll. But, I mean, if you're gonna just set that thing down on a shelf like that, and display it, you're an idiot. Alright? You're a bona fide retard. Alright, so, and we also did manage to get the gun pod on, but again, why would you be displaying this thing in fighter mode? Alright? And I still can't get this freaking wing out no matter what I do. So, screw the wing. We're moving on to different modes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the landing gear back in and then move on to the Guardian mode. Okay, and here you go. Now you have completed transformation from Guardian into, well, from Fighter into Guardian. So basically this thing would just, you know, whatever. Here we get the first look at the hands. They are plastic. They will rotate at the wrist as such, and they will also swivel. Alright, so we have a thumb joint. Basically, it'll move the thumb up and down. Alright, then we have our typical 3-finger and 1-finger joint, so you can hold a gun and the trigger. So if we want to go ahead and try that, it would be something like this. Which, of course, apparently this thing cannot hold, so there's not a whole lot to talk about with Guardian mode. It's rather clunky and chunky and dumb looking. So let's move on to what everyone wants to see, which is Battloid mode. Alright, and then finally, somehow, we have ourselves a completed Alpha Fighter. Now, this thing is pretty chunky and clunky, and let's go ahead and get some of the other stuff out of the way. Right here we have this thingy that will, on the chest, that will slide down, slides open. That is supposed to be the holder compartments for this little thingy right here, which is the Cyclone Fighter. Okay, so let me go ahead and pop this thing out. Then, well, here it is. Little bitty Cyclone thingamajig. And then you just take it and drop it in here. Close it up. Bam. There you go. The other accessory that's here is this, whatever this thingy is. I'm guessing it's some kind of sensor pod. And, there's not a whole lot to it. Nothing really moves. Except for, this pivoting joint here. And here's this little antenna that can raise up a little bit. This would go into the shoulder point right there where that little hole is. So there you go. You got this sensor thingy right there, which is on the underside of this flap that goes on the back. Of course, then you got all your stuff like missile pods right here that open up underneath these flaps and stuff. There's supposed to be more missile pods here on the arms. Right underneath here, these little flaps here. I really don't want to open them since I've had trouble with them in the past. But bam, there you go. There's some little missile thingies in there. And then there's supposed to be missile compartments on the legs. These open up right here and here, and again on the inside, just these little bitty things. Then of course, you have your gun pod, which we'll see if we can fit it into a hand one more time. Okay. Wow. I just realized I put it in backwards. Alright, let's try that one more time. Okay. There we go. Now it is holding the gun pod. Wow, this is absolutely pathetic. So basically, when it comes to the gun pod, you might as well just give up because it is never going to hold it. Alright? This thing will forever be unarmed except for its missile pods. Alright. Let me take one quick look at the instruction manual to see if there's anything I forgot before I go ahead and give a final verdict on this thing. Okay. You know what? Without taking a careful read through of the instructions, you're going to get something that pretty much goes like this. The head just flops around like crazy, and this thing is just going to do this. Upon rereading the instructions, I found that there are these holes right here and tabs on the back of the wings. You go ahead and tab them into the underside of the nose section there. They should keep this thing from moving around so much. So then you have the nose section secured. The head, though, is a different matter, and it seems that no matter what you do, this thing is going to flop around to its heart's content, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So, basically, what you're going to do is you're going to buy this thing, hopefully for as cheaply as I did, and then plunk it down on your shelf and put it in some kind of a pose, because this thing doesn't have a whole lot of articulation, and then just hope it stays that way. So, let's take a look at the articulation. We got these joints here on the hips that will allow the legs to move out and do this, but they will not rotate unless you use this to rotate. So they are fixed in this kind of position. These things can click backwards once at the knees. And then we have basically a bit of toe movement here because of transformation, but other than that, the articulation on the legs is just that. It will swivel at the waist. We got some movement in the arms, but because of how big and clunky they are and the chest piece, you're not going to get a whole lot of movement out of it. And I've already showed you the hands, so essentially, you know, this is it. I definitely would not recommend spending 80 bucks on this. I'm glad that I got it for 50. And it's not just the Shadow Fighter. This is the molds that is used for all the Alpha Fighters. All they did was just change the colors on this. That's it. So this thing, yeah, this is not a fantastic mold. It is very clunky and awkward to use or pose or anything like that. So I can now see why this thing was on sale. I don't know why all the other ones weren't, because they're the exact same design. But there you go. So that ends my review of the Alpha Fighter from Robotech the Shadow Chronicles, or an Alpha Fighter from Genesis Clamorous PETA if you're a Macross fan. Anyways, check back again for future reviews. I'll be doing the Beta Fighter next. That's all I have here this time, and I'm signing out.